live from downtown State College.
Welcome into the Landon Tangwell Live pregame call-in show. We are downtown State College at Studio Center. It is a beautiful November day out here. Sarah Jane, I think we're going to go record time on introducing you in the show. That's how I was feeling today.
Why do you keep introducing me with my middle name?
I don't know. We'll change the last name shortly, so
True.
we're working on it. Today's show is brought to you by Anti-Fragile Brewing Company. Make sure you guys check them out. East Calder Way, the alleyway. Yes, there is the Keg Cam. You can get some fantastic beer out there. Obviously, the Joe Paterno 409 whiskey. And then, of course, the cheesesteaks, which I was there last night. I saw a good amount of people.
Came home smelling like onions.
I did smell like onions. I was had a couple beers. It was a good time. Saw a lot of people. We saw some Nebraska fans. I saw some people. It was their first game ever. There was someone that was actually, I think he was only from like 4 hours away. It was his first Penn State game ever.
Aw.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And he went to Anti-Fragile to get a cheesesteak. So
Is it because of you?
yeah, well, that's what I was told. I don't know if they were just like trying to make me feel better about myself or what, but
There you go.
yeah, that's what I was told. So it works out.
What about the guy wasn't there a guy who came up to you at Anti-Fragile, some Cornhusker guy?
Oh yeah, there was a couple guys, Cornhuskers, that came out and they were just. I mean, there was some drunk guys. Let's talk. That's what it was. It's Thanksgiving
Week.
Thanksgiving pre-weekend, and it's hectic. We got a caller.
Ready.
Let's get into it. We didn't even put the number up.
Told you.
That's ridiculous. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Seth, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
There he is.
What's up, brother? What's your question?
So next season, do you think Penn State should attack a transfer quarterback or keep Gronk?
I mean, it's all going to depend on what this next head coach wants to do and kind of what scheme he has. If we come in and it's someone that wants to run kind of what Andy Kotelnicki runs, where we're going to run RPO and it's a lot of quick throws and you're moving guys and you're running read option, then probably not. I don't think we've seen enough all the way of Gronk yet. I think we can fairly confidently say that he's probably not going to be a superstar. I mean, people can get a lot better. So I think if you're looking in that instance as this next head coach and say, I need to get a top-tier quarterback, then yeah, the answer is probably yes. And no matter what, Penn State is going to get a transfer portal quarterback, whether that is a quarterback that follows his coach that comes here. If we just go in there for someone to compete with Gronk, at minimum, it is going to be an older guy, maybe not even older, maybe second, third-year guy, that is going to be brought in to compete with Gronk, because I just don't think that he has shown enough yet to absolutely be the guy if the next head coach wants him here. But also, I think he had to play at Iowa, at Ohio State, and then Indiana at home. Those are all top 10 defenses. So that is how Gronk had to start off. Kind of felt bad for him, not going to lie. And so I've been fairly pleased with his performances. But I'm really curious to see how he's going to perform today. You're going against a Nebraska defense that I don't think is that good. They've been picked on, and I feel pretty confident that Penn State is going to go ahead and cover this one today. I think it's -7.5 for Penn State. It's been a little bit. Actually, last game, never mind. Michigan State, we covered the line. I told people before the game to bet Penn State, and then Michigan State scored on their first play from scrimmage, and I checked my tweet, and I was getting laughed at. But then guess what? We came back, and we won. So that's what I'm going with again. I'm going with Penn State. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Drunk Peace. What's good? Luke, how about Jawan Sauter for head coach? Nah, I think he's good. I think he likes where he's at right now, and I don't know if that'll be a Penn State pipeline again. But got a lot of love for my man Sider. We got a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Nittany, Pete, and Gorski out here in Live 38.
Let's go, brother!
Let's go, State.
Hell yeah, we're going to tonight.
Go.
We're going to shuck those Huskers, baby. Let's go!
Ooh, that's
Have a
a
good game,
Yinzer
guys.
accent right there.
That's Gorski the Lion. Yeah. Wait, where's Gorski from? Can you get an ask in there?
Murraysville.
Where are you from, dude?
Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania, baby.
I heard that "Let's go" in
Let's
there. And
go.
I knew it was.
Yeah.
Yinzer.
Oh, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah,
We love getting. Please
Nittany
call
Pete.
in from the tailgate spot.
Oh, it's the
please.
best when you get calls in. But that was great. Nittany Pete and Gorski, absolutely, you are right. Liquid Light, those are Those are some Penn State Twitter legends right there. I'll tell you what. Brody says there's no longer a single head coach candidate that excites me anymore.
I second that.
I'm going to be honest. I'm with you too. I feel like there has been there was that initial jolt of excitement of like, we're out of the relationship that many of us didn't like. And it's like, all right, I'm free now. And it's like, oh, who are we going to get? Like, what are all let's go out. We're going to go out to the bars. We're going to just do numbers here.
And there's no talent.
And then there's nothing. And there's nothing out there. And each guy, as the X gets drawn across his face, as we go through this head coach search for Penn State, it starts to look a little bit more bleak. Because I thought we would be able to get a home run hire. But I do think if there was a worse cycle to pick a new head coach or need a new head coach, find me one worse than this, because I can't think of one. I mean, this was the worst time to need to get a new head coach and for this James Franklin firing to happen.
I feel like all in the NIL era, that's just going to be a thing.
It is definitely going to be more frequent. If you guys want to call in now, 814-400-4188. Call in and we will chop it up. What's interesting, signing day about 10 days away, 11 days away, National Signing Day. Yes, where we sign our 2026 recruits, or whatever is left of that class, really, is kind of where we're at now. At the moment, 10 days out. Well, let's see. Today's Saturday. It's not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. You do the math on that, Sarah, while I figure this out.
No.
We got...
I'm not going to.
Something like that.
Don't feel like it.
Okay. That's good. We're getting real. It's already getting chippy in here. It's already getting chippy.
Well, it's already the end of the season almost. We got one more game.
Maybe two more games. What if we go to a bowl game? What if, hear me out, we come full circle, and then although that James Franklin is no longer here at Penn State, what if we come in as pinstripe winners and we leave out James Franklin's final season as pinstripe winners? Let's go to the Pinstripe Bowl. I do think when you just have 6 wins, that is kind of the best option there. And Penn State, no matter what, because they have 6 wins, because of the brand that Penn State is, and the bowl committees, they select who they want to select. So if it's like, hey, if we have an opportunity to get the brand that is Penn State at our game versus like Pitt, they're taking Penn State every single time. Now, my biggest thought is here, Clemson could be very much a candidate to play in the Pinstripe Bowl. You can't tell me that people are not getting up for Penn State and Clemson. Now, in the preseason, when Penn State was 2, Clemson was like 5, it was thought that maybe this could have been a playoff game. But nonetheless, here we sit in mid-November, and we were talking about Clemson, Penn State in the Pinstripe Bowl. It is what it is. I am curious, though, like what if we do win these last 2, what it'll look like for the new coach. Would he want a bowl game? Would he want to be able to get some time to evaluate the players and maybe even evaluate some of the coaches? I do think the biggest question that comes along with that is, who does James Franklin take? Obviously took that initial grouping, and it was all of the player personnel side. It was no type of coaches that James Franklin took with him. It was recruiting coordinator, basically, who are his 2 GMs in Kevin Threlkel and Andy Frank, and then a couple NIL guys. Shout out Aeneas Hawkins, man. I was on the squad with him. He went with James to Virginia Tech as well. So I'm sure there will be more rounds of people from Penn State joining James at Virginia Tech. So we'll kind of monitor that. But I'd just be curious if whoever is going to go with James, I would guess he's going to want them on staff the moment this season ends. So I don't know. And I've talked about the fact that I think it would be hard to turn down a bowl game in a sense of that is a decent amount of money to your program, first off. I mean, Pat Kraft wants that money for the athletic department. And then also just the requirement to go to a bowl game. If there's not enough Big Ten teams to fill in for you, you have to go because that's the that's the Big Ten requirement. So Penn State might have to go to a bowl game anyways, even if half the team didn't want to. So that's going to be something kind of interesting to monitor there. Now, let's talk about this recruiting class real quick. You guys know it. We don't really get into recruiting, but I just think this is interesting. Penn State only has 11 commits left in this 2026 class that is signing next Wednesday. Yes, next Wednesday, which I already said I have way too much of a problem with the NCAA on a million different things. But the one thing, like the self-inflicted wounds that they do where they just mess things up just to mess them up, early signing day was like December 18th. That was fine. No one had issues with it. Coaches wanted to get those players in there maybe a little bit earlier so they could, get them experience and they get bowl practices. Who really cares? They're going to have 15 spring practices. They're going to have all of fall camp. Just don't mess things up. So they move it up almost 2 weeks, honestly, almost more, the National Signing Day than when I signed. And now, so we're sitting here. Penn State has 11 committed guys. One of them is a punter. Shout out Adam McCann Gibbs. I don't know. It's a 3-star punter. We've had some pretty good punters, right? Doesn't that get you up if we can keep that guy committed, Sarah? Okay, good. All right.
I mean,
all right, let's get back to this. Okay, I believe out of these 11 guys, I think 4 of them right now are at Virginia Tech currently, and James Franklin kind of, as soon as he got there, started throwing phone calls out, and he put together an official visit weekend for all of the recruits. And I'll tell you, that's an advantage that James Franklin gets to do that, and he doesn't have to coach or do anything, so he can just literally hang out with those recruits. So he's probably just kicking. He's probably just kicking it with those recruits in the recruiting lounge, because it's not like he has to go down and do anything else, because it's not his job right now. So he's like, he's literally just being like the head recruiter. Like James Franklin would love that. He loved that. He loved that.
He's living the dream right now. His dream.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. Matt Sieg. He is looking like he could go to Notre Dame. He's one of the highest committed guys left. No one in the class left that is ranked higher than 170th player in the nation. So there are likely to be no studs straight out of the gate coming out of this class. You could get those diamonds in the roughs, but I would.
Were we going to have any studs before this?
I don't know.
That's my thing.
I don't know. I don't have that answer for you.
Like, they're all. I just think that, do we really want the players that James Franklin wants?
I don't know. I guess I want some of them, but we're in a bad place. Listen, it's all right.
We're in a bad. You're saying that because we don't know who the head coach is yet. It's like once he comes in, then it's like, okay. Then everything kind of falls into place. It's kind of like
he's going to right the ship, whoever it is. But like, it's still hard.
Yeah, but I mean, all the seniors, they posted on Instagram yesterday, like who the seniors are that are having senior day today, and there's dozens of them, and it's like, okay, well, it was going to be like a fresh team anyway. Yeah,
it was going to be a huge transfer portal team, but that's another important reason that we have to hire a guy on Sunday, guys. I know it doesn't feel like it, but we are almost there. We are at the very end of this race of hiring a new head coach for Penn State football. I don't think we've ever gotten like a real shred of news throughout this thing, except for the fact that Penn State has got other head coaches large extensions because they use us for leverage. Outside of that, we've never had any like clear-cut number one guy. Every guy that comes into the lead for Penn State, they either sign an extension or they just kind of like poof and it just flames out. So Chesney was the hot name for a while. We'll see if that continues. I don't know. I did put out today on Twitter, we went ahead and we broke the news that the Bobby Ingram is being interviewed this coming week by Penn State for that head coaching opening. Any thoughts on that? That was someone you were around when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Bobby was pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, just all right. Just the best wide receiver ever here, without a doubt. But
true.
I
would.
How do you feel about a Letterman? How do you feel about a letter? Whether it's Terry, Bobby, we've talked about it. Because everybody, we've had the past 12 years where certain things haven't been fully acknowledged, and it hasn't felt like Penn State has been a full.
So I'm okay with it being a Letterman either way, because the way that college football is now, it's a different animal. So the things that I want to see, regardless if it's a Letterman or not, is, are they going to be able to handle this NIL thing, where even for NFL coaches it might be difficult because it's not as kosher as it is in the NFL. And
there's no guidelines to it at all.
There's no guidelines. There's no like forecasting on who to pay what. And I just, I hope that they can. I hope they have they can hire well, like that they know how to hire personnel.
They need a GM, like a real GM,
and just being able to handle this whole NIL thing. I will say that I think a Letterman will open the floodgates in terms of donors here, because they've kind of turned up their nose at the past admin, which is understandable for those who are in the mix.
There we go. So it's very simply put by Sarah Jane there. Yeah, so Liquid Light said, you got a lot of people panicking with that Bobby Ingram news. Look, someone said, Not
Someone
not,
said, "Is
not,
anyone going to take the job?"
Is anyone gonna? Yeah, probably not. That's what it feels like at
like-
this point. It's like like I said, like everybody. It's like, oh, we really like this guy. And it's like, no. It's just every single time. As you see, Bob, you can get Bob Chesney 32%. He's the leader on, I think, the only place in America that you can legally bet who's going to be Penn State's next head coach. I look at all the names they come across the bottom of the screen, and it's just kind of bleh at this point. Like I see Kalen DeBoer, but I don't really know what that actually means at this point. I think he'd have to lose to Auburn next week for that to even be an opportunity. And then we just see some other random names at this point.
Oh, there's some gossip.
Depressing. We got you said gossip. We'll get
No,
that in
there's
a second.
gossip in the chat.
We have a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Landon, this is John from Minneapolis. How you doing?
John, doing well. What's your question, brother?
All right, question one. Did you see that Mizzou game, and are you cooling on Drink officially yet? I called in, I think it was last week, and you said you want the new coach to go for the throat. And I don't know if that was 2 or 3, 4th and less than 3 deep in Oklahoma territory, and he goes for the field goal. So what's your thoughts on him at this point?
I mean, overall, that's another reason why some of the coaches Penn State even wanted, they just kind of flared out themselves in their season and just don't look as enticing as they once looked at the beginning of the year. Because when this first started, like Drink was 5-1, 6-1, and people were like, "Oh, let's go for it." Like Bo Prabula was playing some really good football, so there was a lot of excitement about bringing him here. But I mean, number one, I think the biggest just hesitancy that I have with Drinkwitz is just anytime someone goes from just completely out of where they grew up or just where all they're connected at, whether you go East Coast, West Coast, opposite, or you cross the Mason-Dixon line, like those guys don't do that well. There's not that many success points of someone just completely changing where their roots are set and having a lot of success. So that's where I'm already kind of hesitant about what Drinkowitz brings to the table. But yeah, these last couple games have been really rough for him. Now he's playing some good competition, but I don't know. Someone said, "Is Drink the guy because he stole?"
I was thinking.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I was thinking, hey, even if it's ugly, if he gets a win against this number 6 on the road, I don't care how ugly it is. I don't think I've experienced that for like 20 years at this point. So I was willing to give him some grace, but that's.
I'm with you. I do want to.
ugly.
I want to experience like an upset, a game that we're not supposed to win. It's been so long, man. So
We were talking about that at Doggies last night.
yes, we
Where it's
were.
like even if we lose every game except the one ranked game, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Voice. If you're wondering, Voice is a little hoarse here. There was quite the band at Doggies last night. We call it the
My
Skeller.
Hero
Excuse
Zero.
me. My Hero Zero, is that
Yeah,
what they were
they've been
called?
here forever.
Well, we were at the Skeller, also known as Doggies. And we had a good time. But no, my voice I can definitely hear it. It sounds a little raspy, so my apologies,
He's
ladies
a
and
baby.
gentlemen. Yeah, I was screaming. I was
Screaming too.
I had it was a lot of beers last night, guys. We tried to make it over to Champs,
of
didn't
beers,
all the way
a lot
get
of
done.
beers.
And
He
then,
might have had a 6-pack in the course of like 8 hours.
yeah, I'm a lightweight. It's pretty insane, actually. Sarah can probably put down more than me if I want to be fully honest with you guys. But no, we had a good time. I got a little birdie, little phone call last night about Bobby Ingram, and that's how we got the news out. Didn't want to break it at 1 a.m. to you guys, so we figured,
No, we figured you'd let you guys sleep.
yeah, let you guys sleep and then tell you about it. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think Pat Kraft can also. It's okay to, like I said, like it's true. Not all interviews are created equal. Just because you're getting interviewed, especially this week, doesn't mean that you're the new favorite or anything. You can also interview people to try to get them to take other positions. You can talk to them about a variety of things. What is your thought process? What would be your image if you took over this team? And you can kind of pull some ideas from that. So I do think at this point, because there is not a clear-cut number one guy that Penn State's going after, it's kind of let's leave no stone unturned at this point. So I think that's kind of where Pat Kraft is at in this search. I will say it does feel like it's going a lot tougher than I expected. I thought we'd have a guy that would just kind of zone in on, just kind of Virginia Tech. And it was different because Franklin was out there. Their guy was actually out there because we fired him, early in the season. But it just I thought someone would really start to surface, and it would be almost certain. All right, Penn State's going to go with this guy.
Yeah, but
by
Virginia
this
Tech
weekend.
was able to get somebody who didn't have a job.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Is there anybody out there that we'd want that doesn't have a job right now?
No, that was kind of the whole conversation with Urban Meyer and Pat Fitzgerald. But as you saw, every person that we've gotten close with, it just kind of
They probably I don't know, maybe
splits right off.
it's kind of like, if the date takes off their makeup or takes their wig off.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh.
Are we like? Do we have baggage, guys? Are we like a?
There must be something.
Are we like middle age, like
I mean,
50,
there's-
divorced, just kind of don't got anything going on? Kids already out of the house, don't got any like.
Or like
is that,
they get them back to the car or the apartment. It's like, you want to see me DJ? I DJ.
is that okay? Is that a personal experience on that one?
No. I
Okay.
just seen that on Instagram. Like people will like hide their camera when they're
in
on
the
a
car
Tinder
with-
date, and it's like, here. I
That
DJ,
sounds.
you can-
By the way, can we just say, someone who works for the Land and Tangle Show, shout out Jake. It was his 21st birthday. We went to a little Gen Z house party.
We did.
And my God, I know I'm only 23, guys, but it was like
You
it was
are
a
a
different
Gen Z.
time. I mean, kids don't know how to party anymore. What's going on? Everybody's on the phones, and then if we play a game, it's this intense like
Yeah,
cup
the
flip
drinking
game.
games are convoluted.
What happened to a good old fashioned beer
Flip cup.
pong where we're just flip, but like just beer pong? We're just sitting there, just kind of boom, just tossing them, laughing, having a good time. It's such an extreme.
I can feel the angst, because Gen Z has angst, right? And
Lot of angst.
anxiety. I could feel it in the drinking games.
Yeah, it was in the air. We'll take a caller though. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Northeast Boomer.
Oh,
Nice.
There he is.
Yeah, this is. I finally realized why you wanted a Boomer on there, because you wanted an old guy, and I'm not that old, but you're knocking it out of the park, buddy. You're doing terrific.
Thank
You and Chris on that show the other day was great, and I enjoyed it a lot with you guys talking. Hey, I got a. And, the firing that Kraft did, he did it because he had to. Nobody takes firing lightly. He did it because he had to, and he did it when he had to, in my opinion. And I think people should just ease up. And I think that you guys are really nailing it on your coach's search. But, that Chris he's a pretty awesome guy. But Kevin, man, does he listen to himself? He's sitting there hating all these players. It's like, dude, who is the coach? You can't say in one breath, the guy from Virginia Tech had enough when he started, and look what he's done, and then talk about all these great players that got ruined. And that, what you did with Drew Aller, people need to go watch that. I've been like putting Kerry Collins in this environment. It wouldn't have worked. But I just want to encourage you. But look, and I'm going to call Mike the Milkman, because he's too good a guy to work for the federal government. But just don't get between him and Kevin. They're going to have a hug fest one of these days over Franklin. It's going to be pretty ugly.
Oh, I mean,
and hey, your wife, I got to meet her. Her dad is still like a hero up in Northeast PA, and I got to meet him. He came up looking to do for some business in Marcellus. Great guy. So,
nice.
Any rate, just want to encourage you to keep going. Don't get between Mike the Milkman and Kevin, because that's going to get ugly someday. But I still think you and Chris should do the play by play on Penn State Network and get rid of those other two guys. So
Northeast Boomer, thank you for calling in, brother. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a treat to have.
I mean, it is. He is. I think he's the best call in.
Does he call in after the games too?
We've gotten him after
Yeah.
the games, but I think he goes to all the games, so sometimes he's probably a little busy getting in and out, but an absolute legend every time, and we really appreciate the Kevin Horn bashing, and yes, Chris Buchanani, you guys will definitely see more of Booch as time goes on.
He called me the wife. We're not
I'm
married
coaching.
yet.
We're getting there. You might as well be. I appreciate that he called you
The
the
old
wife.
lady.
That's the old ball and chain there, sitting over
He's
there
going to
in
call
the
me
corner.
the old lady.
Yeah, I got the old lady at home.
Or we're going to go to Bellefonte Courthouse and get our marriage license, and he's going to go,
That's it.
I got the old lady here.
I got the old lady with me. Mike the Milkman. I can't wait. Guys, for filming tomorrow, I just want you to know, anytime Northeast Boomer calls in, I have a great time showing everybody. And sometimes Kevin Horn will text me and he'll be like, what the hell? He's like, I'm getting assaulted in your call-in show. And like you're goddamn right you are.
Well,
Yeah.
when you put yourself out there in the media, it's open season.
It's out there, that's for sure. The first, love Kevin. We're not shaming anybody, but I remember I saw Floor of the Bloggy. I saw it got posted, and the first 3 out of the first 4 comments were like Kevin Horn has a weight loss issue and you can't do it.
What? Yeah, somebody said he had a thyroid issue.
Yeah, thyroid issue. Yeah. Kevin, listen, love, we love you, buddy. We love you, but God, it's so fun to bag on him. But no, Northeast Boomer made a good point, though. I mean, as much as I've said, yes, this is a crap show right now of who we're going to hire. Booch said it best, we're going to be all right, but I still think it had to be done when it had to be done. Because we'd be sitting here right now, the attendance would be horrific if James Franklin was the head coach, and there would just be constant booing and just the
fire Franklin.
Fire Franklin all over the place, and it would have just been ridiculous because he wouldn't have beat Indiana, he wouldn't have beat Ohio State, and it would have just continued to snowball, and it would have gotten worse and worse and worse. And I don't think we need that. I think it was time to move on. I think Terry's doing a terrific job, honestly. He is 1-3, but he also, as I said, played at Iowa, at Ohio State, Indiana at home. It's not very easy to come away with those wins. So I think that is kind of where we're at right now. Let me know below, which bowl game do you want to see Penn State in? We win today. We're starting to have some real conversations about bowl games. I don't think there's any question. I don't really know that many, but the Pinstripe Bowl is without a doubt. Sarah, we're going to NYC for Christmas. So, no?
I've been to that one. I went when we played Boston College.
That was one of James Franklin's, fun fact, one of his 3 underdog wins as a coach at Penn State.
I want to say it was the 27th or 28th of December, and I remember it was really hot. It was 60 degrees.
Huh.
It was really it was actually a day like today.
Well, I hope we get that. Yeah, it's actually nice.
Now Yankee Stadium's beautiful, but the only rub is watching a football game in a soccer stadium or a baseball or stadium is awful.
Yeah,
because the pitch, it's not the seats are really shallow. So you don't get, it's you feel so far away. It's really awkward. It's not that great to watch.
I don't really go to anything but football. People, I forget who I was talking to. I was talking to my producer, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really like basketball. By the way, the product that the NBA puts out,
trash.
It is so bad. I mean, not only do we just have all these guys cheating in the NBA and gambling and they were point shaving, what's going on? But God, it's so bad. Who enjoys even NBA playoff? Playoff basketball still isn't even that good at this point. So I don't know.
I think we can blame Steph Curry for the 3-pointers, though.
He still changed the game. I don't blame him all the way.
Well,
you know what? Don't people need to stop trying. That's like me when I go out there and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to try to swing Tiger's swing when I'm on the golf course.
You do say that.
I do say that. I need to leave it alone. I need to shut the heck up.
Yeah. So you're admitting.
Yeah, I'm admitting it. But too many people are like, oh, I'm going to go out and shoot threes like Curry. Well, guess what? You're not Curry, buddy. Unless you're me at the IM here or at the YMCA against a couple 65-year-olds. Then it's really going to get crazy.
Well, everybody's 6 inches shorter than you at the Y, so.
Yeah. Board guy. Oh, can you go back to Sarah Cam? I want to see, what's the score? 7-14. We've had an action-packed start to this Oregon USC game. I'm excited. Where do we go from here? Growing up in the Michael Jordan era, I loved it. NBA's garbage.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. It's
I feel
trash.
the last time it was good was that mid-2000s Detroit Pistons.
Oh yeah. And the Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah, there was just there was some. That was back when Kobe and Shaq were running it. That was a good time.
Gary Cooper. The strong silent type.
I would pay money to go back to when The Sopranos was first, coming out and everybody's
I know you weren't even born
that.
yet. I was around.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
What do you mean? You guess?
Enough. We got a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from? You making fun of my laugh now?
Yep.
Joe, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Joe, how you doing, my man?
Okay. Listen, I'm a Penn State letterman, not in football, from track from a long, long time ago. Just one question. Why doesn't Manny Diaz get any love?
It's a good question. I like Manny Diaz. I've talked about what it was like for him as a defensive coordinator here. He was very successful. I think he's the best defensive coordinator in Penn State football history. When you look at the numbers, even though he was only here for 2 years, his havoc rate and how he got after the quarterback. I mean, Terry Smith, literally, we installed a part of his defense, that prowler package where we got 6-7 guys pressed up on the line of scrimmage, and you are sending blitzes or dropping guys out, and the offensive line and the pass protection doesn't know what you're doing. Terry Smith said we added that because the guys on the team knew how to run it. It's fairly simple, and that was one of the things that kind of helped ease everybody into Jim Knowles' defense a little bit more these past couple weeks. So we're literally still using things from Manny Diaz's defense that he had here at Penn State before he left. Mainly, he's just not doing a good job. He's not doing that good of a job at Duke. He did have Duke's highest recruiting class ever in 2025, but kind of struggled at Miami, kind of struggled at Duke, and so now I think if you're Pat Kraft, it is hard to give Manny the job at that point. I think a lot of people at this point, it's kind of, if you're going to give Manny the job at that, just give Terry the job at that. But like that's almost how I feel. But it is different because Manny would come, he would coach the defense, and that would be the biggest upside, is that we'd get Manny Diaz not only as our head coach, but he would be the defensive coordinator again. And as I said, that'd be fun. I loved watching him. I thought I would have no worries about him upholding the standard of what it means to be a Penn State football player, locker room things, on the field, all of that. So I don't know. Someone said I'm down to hire Chauncey Billups at this point. It's a joke. We're at the joke stage of this thing. I didn't foresee this happening.
Yeah, somebody wrote, is Penn State the ugly friend in the group? And it's like, yeah.
Why does it feel like that right now? We're going to figure it out, guys. We'll be just all right. As it pertains to the game today that we've barely spoken about, let's have fun. Senior day, send these guys off right. Support them, cheer them on. Once again, why I'm happy that it's a happier environment for everybody and the fans with Terry Smith as the head coach. And let's continue to play for Terry. I think you're going to see that out of the guys, and that was the biggest switch with Terry Smith as the head coach, is the effort and the passion is starting to come more and more out of these players for Penn State. And it's fun to see, and it's fun to continue to cheer them on when you're seeing them give 110% in what is probably the toughest season in, 2025, 14 years, 13 years, something like that. So it's been tough for these guys. I'm excited for them today, though. You get the win today. We're going to Piscataway next week. Greg Schiano, hello, to fight and claw for bowl eligibility if we get this one done.
Watch them get spry, the Scarlet Knights, because they want to take away our bowl eligibility.
Greg, he absolutely will. Greg
Only
Schiano,
guy Joe ever fired.
Yeah. Schiano's getting up for this game next week. You best believe it. And their quarterback is probably one of the better quarterbacks that they've had in a little while. So curious to see how that is going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in. As soon as those clocks hit 000 in the Penn State-Nebraska game tonight, probably 10:30, 11, some now. The game starts at 7, 10:30. You guys come back here. We're going to talk about all of it. We'll take one more caller before we get out of here. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, Landon? This is Donovan Profit from Olney, Maryland.
Oh, Olney? You go to good counsel?
Yes, sir. Nah, I went to Sherwood.
Okay,
Sherwood.
that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. What is your question, my man?
Yes, sir. Man, you were tearing up the good counsel. But I don't really have much of a question. It's more of I'm honestly just concerned, where we're headed right now. I feel like you just said that Kraft's about to interview Bobby Ingram for the coaching hire, and I mean, that I respect it, but I just feel like if he's trying to, one of his main criteria is he wants a sitting head coach or someone that's a proven head coach, and I mean, Chesney's that, but I feel like if you're going to go hire Bobby Ingram, or if you're going to interview him, I don't know. I just feel like if you go someone who's not a sitting head coach, how is Hartline not the guy? You know what I'm saying? And is it just that he doesn't want it, or?
I'm with you. Yeah, no, I do think I am curious about Hartline. I mean, that's a name that caught fire and then it really cooled off, and I still think it's there. Still think that opportunity is there to try to go after him. But yeah, I mean, the way we're kind of whittling this thing down and Drink starting not to look like as good of a candidate, I think the best option right now is Hartline. I know there's some Chesney lovers. You're either one side or the other on Chesney. I haven't heard much of I'm hearing a lot of like, oh, absolutely not, or like, I'd love that. He's a winner. He's proven, even though he's not proven at a high level, he'll learn. And that's the biggest difference when you look at Cignetti and Chesney, both JMU guys. But Cignetti, you look at his wiki page, you see Alabama, you see all these big-time places where he has assistant coaches, and never has Chesney been at any school like that, even as an assistant. So that is kind of the one difference there. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys tuning in once again.
I would like to say that that caller had a very Morgan Freeman documentary.
It was like ASMR. We were talking about ASMR. It was like his call-in was like ASMR.
It had like a white guy, Morgan Freeman. I liked it. It was cool. I just had to say that.
Well, we appreciate it. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, we will be back right at the conclusion of Penn State, Nebraska, taking all your calls. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.